Heartland bowling, bowlers that are left. The winner of lanes 7 and 8 will go to 1 and 2 against the winner of lanes 9 and 10. Winners of 11 and 12 will go to lanes 3 and 4 against winners of lanes 13 and 14. For our live broadcast, we're going to be using basically lanes 7 and 8 as our feature pair.
We'd like to welcome our viewers to the ABC Lane Scratch Tournament Series. My name is Dylan Bauer, and I'm being joined by Daryl Bauer, and we are about ready to bring you the exciting bracket finals round of this two-day event at ABC East Lanes in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
That's right, Dylan. The tournament started with 168 entries, and we're now down to the final 8 bowlers.
Our first match here will consist of Rick Graham versus Casey Kreutz. Also 3 other matches taking place as we're in the round of 8. We'll also have Ernie Lucas versus Matt O'Grady, the 3 versus 6 seed. The 4 seed, Brian Leclerc, will be facing the number 5 seed, John Fury. And the number 2 seed, Alicia Current, will be facing the number 7 seed, J.R. Martino. Daryl, can you go ahead and tell us how the bowlers in this round got to this point?
Well, there were 4 squads that had bowled, and you take the top 1/5 out of each squad. And then they, after those 30 or 27 bowlers had advanced, then they go into the next round of 3 games, and then the total pins that they had accumulated in their qualifying round, plus the 3-game total, got us to the top 8.
All right, so we have down to 8 bowlers, just under 4 minutes left in practice. Can you go ahead and explain the format coming up as well?
This will be a 2-game match with whoever has the most total pinfall will advance and be in the top 4 for this event. We have 4 different matches, as you mentioned before, Dylan, going on. And after this round, we'll be down to the top 4.
All right, again, feature match will be Rick Graham versus Casey Kreutz. Bowling on the lanes next to them is Ernie Lucas and Matt O'Grady. As you can see, their balls being thrown in the background, still in practice. Again, this tournament being brought to you by Capital Vending Company.
Yep, Capital Vending has a full line of amusements, pin games, video games, jukeboxes, pool tables, touchscreen games, bulk vending. Owner Joe Callow has been very good to us over the years. We've had a good relationship here with them at ABC East Lanes for about the past 20 years. And they do such a great job, and they also have party rentals available as well.
Again, about 2 minutes till match play begins, and bracket format with 8 bowlers here in the ABC Lane Scratch Tournament Series. Again, Dylan Bauer alongside Daryl Bauer with you for the live broadcast.
We have some great bowlers in this round. We have 2 great collegiate athletes that are bowling, as well as some very good PBA members bowling as well. And some of those collegiate players are also excelled on the PBA level. We have Alicia Kern. She was the Rookie of the Year for college bowling back in the 2003-2004 season. And she was also the Female Bowler of the Year for college in that same year. We also have Matt O'Grady. Matt has done real well with Team USA. And he's a gold medal winner in the 2006 team event in Mexico City, as well as being a first team All-American in 2006, 2007, and he was also Rookie of the Year.
Practice has ended, just about ready to get underway with the first game of match play in the round of 8. Again, taking place at ABC Lanes, East in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Again, it'll be Rick Graham out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. He'll get to start first on the left lane. This match taking place on lanes 7 and 8. 98 300 games in his career to go along with 54 800 series. First ball by Graham goes down as a strike.
Once again, Rick was our leading qualifier for this tournament, and he's bowling the 8th seed, Casey Krutz.
Casey Krutz out of North Brunswick, New Jersey. Now be going up for his first shot in the match. Krutz on the right side, gets ready. This ball go, leaves a 4-pin.
Casey was maybe just a little soft with that first shot, maybe still not completely warmed up from the little bit of break that we've had.
Completes his spare for his first frame. Heads on over to the left side for his second shot. Lanes 9 and 10, Matt O'Grady off to split right in the first frame as he attempts to right now, makes it. So that will go up as a spare for him. Casey Krutz steps up onto the approach for his second frame shot. And there goes a strike. First of the match for Casey Krutz. Rick Graham on lane 8, going up for the second frame. That'll go as a double now for Rick Graham. Again, the leading qualifier in today's tournament. Rick Graham up in the third. Rolls this one down there. And that one will get all the pins to fall. Now be a turkey there for Rick Graham. Off to a solid start here as he is ahead in the match by 30 pins over Casey Kreutz. Casey Kreutz up, and he'll get the 10 pin to fall, as that'll narrow his trailing deficit down to 10.
Casey has rolled a 299 in this year's USBC Open Championships. And he also was a casher in last year's USBC Masters event.
Kreutz leaves the 2 pin. Again, Rick Graham has all 3 strikes here to start the game for him. Kreutz spares, strikes, and yet to see what happens on this ball. I'll go as a spare for Kreutz. So that'll be now 79 through the first 4 frames. Rick Graham up on the right side. There's another strike for Rick Graham. Now the first 4 here in game 1 of match play. Plus 21 is Rick Graham over Kreutz.
Rick has 2 PBA regional championships, his first one coming in Rockaway, New Jersey, about 3 years ago.
Also a member of Team USA back in 1987. And there's another strike for Graham, left side, getting them to fall again. He now has the first 5 here in match play game 1. Now up in the game by 41 pins over Casey Kreutz.
And just a reminder, it's a 2-game match, so total pins after the 2 games will determine who goes on to the next round.
Over on lanes 9 and 10 right next to Graham and Kreutz. Ernie Lucas, 2 opens the past 2 frames, 37 through 3 frames as Kreutz strikes here on that ball. Now only down by 21 again. And Matt O'Grady, after starting off with 2 splits and made the spares, followed with 2 strikes. It's currently O'Grady has 68 through 4 frames. Casey Kreutz on the left side. There's another strike. That's a double now for Casey Krutz. Lanes 9 and 10. Matt O'Grady now 21-point advantage over Ernie Lucas. Moving down to lanes 11 and 12. It's going to be a 7-point advantage down there for John Fury as Rick Graham again strikes. Now the front six here for Rick Graham. Graham going for the 7th here. Already has the front six. And that time won't get it to fall, leaves the 4-pin. So he'll look for his first spare here in the bracket round.
Looked like he just got it just a little wide and the ball did not recover for him.
Graham again, the leading scorer in today's tournament. Graham goes for the spare. And he'll convert it. Graham now 179 through 7th frames. Casey Krutz 119 through 6. Krutz not a PBA member. 18,300 games for him, 10,800 series as well. Krutz on the right side. Gets them the fall. Turkey now for Casey Krutz. Now trailing by 30.
20. Moving on down the line, Brian LeClaire has a 12-pin lead over John Fury. They're in 6th frame, and Alicia Current is virtually in a tie with J.R. Martino. Again, this is game 1 of the 2-game match.
There's a strike again for Krutz. That'll be a ham bone for him. 179 now through 8 frames for Krutz out of North Brunswick, New Jersey. Rick Graham had the front 6 spared last frame. Going up for the 8th frame. And leaves a solid 10-pin there for Rick Graham.
It looked like Rick really liked that shot.
Graham going up to shoot his 10-pin. Knock that one down. Graham now +9 in this matchup. Daryl, you want to give us a overlook at the other matches going on right now?
Yep. We have Ernie Lucas has 2 early opens and has 56th and a 4th on a spare. He's bowling against Matt O'Grady, who started off. Matt converted 2 consecutive splits in the first 2 frames, and then has a double, but then he opened in the 5th.
Graham crossed over on that shot, left the 10 pin there. Back-to-back 10 pins for Graham.
John Fury opened in the first frame, and then has been clean ever since. And Brian Leclerc just got his first double in the 6th frame. He's also clean, so he's going at a 200 pace. Alicia has 1 open and a double, and also J.R. Martino has 1 open and a double, so their match is virtually in a tie.
A lot of close ones here in game 1 of the 2-game series.
They were okay, man.
Casey Kreutz coming up 4 in a row. Be going on the right side. Going to finish his game off. Rick Graham, a 217 through 9 frames, working on a spare.
Casey can take the lead with a strike here.
Graham 207 after 8, working on a spare. Kreutz now gets set for his shot here in the 9th. Again, working on 4 in a row. Bounce down there, and he'll leave the 4 pin standing. So that'll end Kreutz's streak there at 4 in a row.
Tugged it just a little bit. Got a fortunate break to break out the 6 and 10 on that shot, only leaving the 4 pin.
Kreutz shoots for the 4 pin, makes the spare. So now he'll be going on to the 10th frame here, working on a spare. He'll be -9 in this match, in this game here against Rick Graham. Brian Leclerc has a triple against John Fury on lanes 11 and 12. Starting to take a lead in the game down there as Kreutz gets ready to shoot his first ball in the 10th. First shot's down there, and he'll knock the 10 pin out on the carry. So Kreutz now can shoot a 248 if he finishes out his game with strikes.
Kreutz got a good break on that one. Looked like he might leave a 10 pin, a soft 10, and then a pin came across and knocked it out.
Kreutz up for his second ball in the 10th. There's the roll, and not good enough. Leaves a 6-10 on that one. Kreutz, if he makes the spare here, can get a 238. Graham, the opportunity to shut out with strikes to get a 257. Kreutz makes a spare. He'll finish the game. 238 for Casey Kreutz.
Casey bowled a great game. He stayed clean, had a double and a 4-bagger in there. Rick Graham has started with the first 6 and then has spared the next 3 frames.
Rick Graham 1 seed, Cruz the 8th seed. Again, 2-game series to determine the champion of each game moves on to the round of 4. Rick Graham, a member of the Storm regional staff, also a member of Vice regional staff. 2 regional titles in his 15 years on the tour. As he'll go up for his first ball in the 10th. There's a strike as he gets the 4-pin the fall late. Again, Rick Graham can shoot a 257 here with 2 more strikes. Graham's second ball in the 10th. And again, he gets the 5-10 fall there on that one. 247 now for Rick Graham. One more shot awaiting him as he tries to take a 19-point advantage over Casey Cruz here after game 1.
Rick holding his hands above his head on that shot as the 5 and the 10 were the last 2 to go out on that rack.
Rick Graham going for his final shot in the 10th frame. There it is. And will lead the 7-pin hole finish, 256 in this game. Will take an 18-point lead over Casey Cruz after game 1 here in a 2-game series.
Both Rick and Casey bowled great games. That's the excitement of the bracket finals. You have to beat your opponent. So even though they might have the highest 2 scores after the first game, loser goes home. They got one more game in this set.
All the other games getting ready to finish up. Appears J.R. Martino finished his game with a 190 down there. He's facing Alicia Current. She is currently on a turkey. She's going up for her second shot in the 10th, sitting at 196 through the first shot in the 10th frame.
Yes, she can go out for 226. She gets the next 2 strikes.
Also down there, John Fury battling Brian Leclerc. Brian Leclerc, a clean game so far through 9 frames. Facing John Fury, also clean, not many strikes down there, a lot of spares taking place on that lane.
Alicia did get her second strike in the 10th. She can get another strike on the fill ball. She'll have 226. J.R. Martino finished with 190 that game.
Again, bringing you the championship matchups here in the Heartland Bowling Tournament today. We are currently in the round of 8.
This is the second event in a 4-event series. Anthony Pepe was the winner of the very first event. he also placed in this event as well.
Casey Cruz up for his first shot in the second game. Hole strike. Again, Cruz down by 18 pins after the first game. Rick Graham, his first shot, hole strike. So both players striking in their first frame here in game 2. Graham steps on the left lane for frame number 2. There's his ball and gets him the fall to the right there for Rick. Graham starts off with a double to begin game 2.
So you can tell that Rick is starting to feel a little uncomfortable out there, even though he's striking. He's starting to feel a little uncomfortable, tripping the 4-pin earlier in the match, and this time barely got the 7 and the 8 to fall out.
Match is finishing up down there. John Fury finished his game with a 186. Brian Leclerc currently in the 10th frame. 205 after his first shot, which was a strike, as Kurtz leaves a solid 10 pin here in his second frame of game 2. Leclerc strikes his second ball in the 10th. Now has a chance to finish the game with a 225 if he can strike his final shot, as Kreutz makes the spare. It's a strike spare for Kreutz and strike for Graham. Graham again, 18-point advantage after game 1. And there's the final score for Brian Leclerc as Kreutz leaves the 2-pin. Leclerc finished 223, 186 for John Fury.
It appears as though maybe the left lane has started to tighten up. Maybe some oil has carried down on that lane. Both Rick and Casey coming up light their last shot on lane 7.
Kreutz converts to spare. Back-to-back spares now for Kreutz.
Okay.
Rick Graham up on the right side. This is roll, and there's a good one for Rick Graham. Turkey to start off game number 2 for Graham.
Rick liked that shot a lot better than his previous couple shots. He might be making the adjustment, figuring out that the left lane is hooking a little bit more. Looked like he moved in just a little further left on that shot. Hoping to catch a little bit more oil in the center part of the lane where the lane has not been burnt out in the track area as much.
Oh. 7 count left by Graham.
Got that one in. This week's is a very difficult scoring pattern. They're bowling on a WTBA Atlanta pattern.
Graham with the 6, 9, 10 here, going to convert. And he'll get it. So Rick Graham starting off with 3 strikes. The 7th spare gives him an 87 through 4 frames. Giving you an updated version of the scores. Brian Leclerc defeated John Fury 223 to 186 in the first game. That'll give him a 37-point advantage, is Leclerc over Fury. And then Alicia Current defeated J.R. Martino 224 to 190, giving Current a 34-point advantage over Martino going into game 2. Again, 2-game series total. Whoever leads after the 2 games is the winner of each series. Advances on to the round of 4. Crewt's working on a spare.
Alicia is one of 12 bowlers that has participated in the tournament this weekend.
And he'll leave the spare. There's Crewt's, or split rather.
Yep. I'll have to try to slide the 2-pin covered on the left side with the ball and try to slide the 2-pin into the 10. He's been throwing the ball pretty straight for his spares. We'll try to see if he tries to get a little bit more hook on the ball to try to create a little bit better angle.
Crewt's shoots the spare, chops it, just missed it. So Crewt's with the open. He'll have 64 through 4 frames as he goes on to the left side again. Rick Graham an 18-point advantage over Casey Crewt's. After game 1, Rick Graham shooting a 256, Crewt's 238.
Looks like Crutz may have injured his leg on that last shot. Looks like he tried to throw it pretty hard. May have got to the foul line a little awkward.
Crewt's taking his time. He's trying to stretch out his hamstring.
That was the first open for either bowler on this pair. Rick is still clean after 14 frames, and that was Casey's first open frame as he starts his 5th frame of the second game.
Crewt's now up, 5th frame. There's his shot. Crewt's, you can tell he's struggling. You can tell his, don't know if it's the front of his leg or his back of the leg. You can tell when he threw the ball. Did not feel comfortable throwing that. Leaves the 10-pin. We'll see how far Crewt's can make it in this game. Crewt's misses the 10-pin there. So back-to-back opens now for Kreutz. He has a 73 through 5 frames.
His injury to his leg, you can tell, is definitely affecting him.
Not very well able to bend over on the last couple of shots due to that injury. Match next to Graham and Kreutz is Lucas versus O'Grady. That game in the 10th frame now. Grady with the strike in as his first ball in the 10th. As Graham comes up, he'll strike as well. So as Graham starts the game, 3 strikes, spare strike. 107 is the count for Rick Graham. Lucas, a 121 through 8 frames, working on a strike in the 9th. As Grady is going up for his second shot in the 10th. Grady with a double now. 199, chance to shoot a 209 here in game 1. The only match remaining in game 1 still. As Graham comes up left side for his 6th frame shot. This one's gonna go straight through the nose, leaves the big 4. So Rick Graham leaves the 4, 6, 7, 10. Possibly his first open here in the finals.
Yeah, Rick's really struggling with the left lane, although he's been keeping the frames clean. He finds himself either coming high or light.
Grady finished his game 207 as Graham knocks out the 7 pin. So he'll have 121 through 6 frames. Kreutz again, battling an injury, had a chance to walk it off, stretch it out a little bit, see if he can come back. Kreutz rolls the ball. Again, you can see him struggling again. He gets a strike though there, however. Still again down 18 points coming into this game after game 1. Shot a good game, just not good enough against Rick Graham, who shot an even better game. Graham the 1 seed, Kreutz the 8 seed.
Kreutz not quite getting up to the line the way he would like, but he's fighting through it.
Every time he shoots a shot, you can see him come up, grab the front of his leg each time. So you have to wonder whether it's front part that he's struggling with or if it's hamstring. Kreutz, 7th pin shot. Again, another strikes, knocks out the 10 pin. So Kreutz working on a double. Graham on the open. He's going up for his 7th frame. Again, the pair next to it. Ernie Lucas, double in the 10th frame. Has a 171 currently, going for a 181. Matt O'Grady shot a 207 in that match. So with the strike, O'Grady will still have a 26-point advantage over Lucas as Graham comes up for the 7th frame. And he'll cross over this line, but still gets the pins to fall. So Graham, a 131 in the 7th on a strike. As Lucas goes right through the nose, leaves a 7 count, so he'll finish his game 178. Matt O'Grady again, 207, and that'll be a 29 pin advantage for Matt O'Grady.
The winner of the match we are currently watching, Rick Graham and Casey Kreutz, will bowl the winner of Ernie Lucas and Matt O'Grady. The other 2 matches going on, Brian LeClaire and John Fury. The winner of that match will go on to bowl Alicia Current or
Graham,
J.R. Martino.
Graham another strike here. Got the double now. Cruz also working on a double. So again,
He's Cruz down 18 pins this game, and he has a deficit of 18 pins from the first game.
so the scoring after game one officially, Leclerc a 37-point pin advantage over John Fury. Matt O'Grady 29 pin advantage over Ernie Lucas, and Alicia Current a 34-point advantage over J.R. Mattino. As Kreutz gets another strike here, that's his third in a row for Casey Kreutz out of North Brunswick, New Jersey.
With that leg injury, Casey has had to slow down, and actually those last 3 shots were some of his better shots of the match. He's now a little bit softer with the ball, allowing his hand to get around the ball a little bit better. Has a little stronger reaction on the back end. Now down 8 pins in this match, or in this game.
And not able to get the 9 pin to fall. So there goes his run, and there might just go his chances of any comeback depending on what Rick Graham can do in the 9th frame. Kreutz so close there again, the 9 pin to fall. Getting a ham bone, but just not able to get the momentum to knock the pin down. There's the spare attempt, he'll get it. So, Kreutz again, 162 at the moment, working on a spare, going into the 10th frame as Rick Graham will come up to finish his game out, currently working on a double.
All Rick will need will be a good count on this shot, and he can close Casey Kreutz out.
Highest Kreutz can shoot is a 202 in this game. Again, Graham 18 pins up. There's a shot, leaves the 6 pin, but that should do it, just about do it for Rick Graham to advance on to the round of 4.
Rick needs to make this spare, or even if he doesn't make this spare, just fill out 5 in the 10th frame. So right now, Rick is sitting in the driver's seat. And as soon as this match is over, we will switch over to the Matt O'Grady, Ernie Lucas match. Watch the completion of that match.
That match, 5 strikes in the game so far, 3 for O'Grady, 2 for Lucas. Lucas going up for the 3rd frame of his shot there. As Rick Graham just about to close this one out here against Lucas. And that'll do it for Rick Graham. Leaves the 10 pin, however, but that'll be enough to advance him through to the next round. Graham with the spare. So Rick Graham will advance on to the 2nd round, or the round of 4 rather. He'll face the winner of the Lucas O'Grady matchup on the lanes to the right. And final strike there for Rick Graham. That'll do it for this game. 209 officially for Rick Graham. Cruz again dealing with an injury that he had in the 5th frame of this match. Had a chance to come back, had a turkey, left a solid 9-pin, and from there on, Rick Graham was able to shut the door to advance.
Yep, a gritty performance by Casey Kreutz. Go to the next match.
Gonna switch over here now. Ernie Lucas versus Matt O'Grady. Again, Lucas, 78 through 4 frames, working on a spare. Matt O'Grady, the first 3 here in their second game. In that game, it's O'Grady with a 29-pin advantage over Lucas. Matt O'Grady gets the 9-pin to fall. Front 4 there for Matt O'Grady.
As you can see, Matt O'Grady's wearing his USA bowling shirt. Matt was the first team All-American in 2006, 2007, and rookie of the year as well. Gets another one, so Matt has the first 5. Matt has been a PBA member for 4 years, and he has 1 regional title. Also competes part-time on the national tour. And he was 2006 junior gold champion. That was at Fort Lauderdale, Florida that year. And I was there, so was Dylan.
Lucas leaving the big 4. It's going to put him in a tough position now, coming back against O'Grady.
Brian Leclerc could make a spare in 10th now to shoot 225. He has the match under control against John Fury. So Brian Leclerc will advance, and he'll bowl the winner of Alicia Current and J.R. Martino. They're in a tight match as well at the upper end. Can't tell.
The matchup at the end, it was Current who had the advantage after game 1. 34-pin advantage over Martino. As it looks like Current finished with a 194 that game. And Martino appears to have a chance to beat her out.
We're watching Matt O'Grady step up on the right lane of game number 2. He's got the first 5 this game. Match well in command against Ernie Lucas.
Great, there's his 6th strike to start off the match. So Grady just about to end this match. As it was Alicia Current who defeated J.R. Martino just barely by 5 pins. Current got the first 2 in the 10th frame. Martino finished all 3 and struck out in the 10th, but could not do anything about it as Current got the double to finish him off. O'Grady now the front 7, as it looks like O'Grady will be the one to move on. So the matches are set for Brian Leclerc versus Alicia Current. That match will be taking place on lanes 3 and 4. And then the winner of Matt O'Grady versus Ernie Lucas will be facing Rick Graham. That will take place on 1 and 2 as Lucas got a strike there in the 7th. So he's now working on a double. Again, the Heartland bowling tournaments currently in the bracket finals, round of 8. One more player to get through to the round of 4.
Players that will be eliminated in this round will receive $350 for their efforts today.
As there's going to be a split left now by Lucas, and that should just about do it and put Matt O'Grady on to the next round as he has the front 7 currently. Some upcoming tournaments with the Heartland Bowling Tournament.
Yes, July 6th at ABC West Lanes. There's an over 45 and an under 45 doubles tournament. Anticipated payout would be $3,000 for the first place team, based on 48 teams, and 1 in 5 will cash in that tournament. They will bowl 6 games, the doubles team, across 12 lanes, using a USBC Open doubles and singles pattern, and then they will take the top 5 for the stepladder finals in that event. We will also be televising that event as well.
Grady 8 in a row now for Matt O'Grady.
Matt is no stranger to 300 games. He has over 5,300 games in his career.
Working to add another one to that list here. Here's his 9th frame. And there will be 9 now. Matt O'Grady looking to complete the 300 game. Needs 3 more when he comes back up in the 10th frame. Ernie Lucas will first finish out his game and then set it up for Matt O'Grady and see what he can do to finish off the match. Another split left by Lucas. Moving on to the next round, it's official. Be Matt O'Grady versus Rick Graham. Rick Graham, the 1 seed. Matt O'Grady, the 6 seed, defeating the 3 seed Ernie Lucas. Rick Graham defeating the 8 seed Casey Kreutz to move on in the bracket finals. Brian Leclerc, the 4 seed, defeated the 5 seed John Fury. And he'll be facing Alicia Current, the number 2 seed, who defeated the 7 seed J.R. Martino. Leclerc versus Current, they will be taking place on lanes 3 and 4 in the next match. There's going to be a strike for Lucas as he gets the 10 pin to fall late.
Ernie is from Manville, New Jersey. He's also a PBA member, has been a PBA member for 4 years. His dad also participates in PBA regionals and PBA 50 events. Ernie cashed in the U.S. Open this past season.
Cruz will finish his game off 175, and that'll do it for his day. Going home with $350 in his pocket, along with Casey Kreutz, John Fury, and J.R. Martino.
Matt O'Grady taking a redirect. A reminder, he's bowling on a very difficult WTBA Atlanta pattern. Has about a 2.3 to 1 ratio from inside oil to outside, so it's a relatively flat and challenging condition.
O'Grady going for his first shot in the 10th. Has the front 9. Grady's first shot. And there's going to be number 10 there for Matt O'Grady. Grady now the front 10. Advancing on to the round of 4, he'll be facing Rick Graham in the next competition. Graham up to the approach, gets set. Grady takes his time, now rolls. And he'll get that one to fall. Front 11 now for Matt O'Grady. Has a chance to add to his collection of 50 plus 300 games.
This could be the first 300 game of the tournament. High previous game before this was 280.
Matt O'Grady, the chance for the 300 here. Here goes O'Grady. Rolls. And gets it to fall. And there will be the 300 for Matt O'Grady. What a finish there on that shot. Just getting the pin, the fall, coming out of nowhere. And there's another 300 game for Matt O'Grady, who already has over 50 in his career.
And as all the ABC Lane Scratch Tournament Series done with the Heartland Bowling Tournaments, this is a USBC sanctioned event. So Matt will receive recognition from the United States Bowling Congress for his 300 game. Congratulations, Matt.
We will step out for a couple of seconds. We'll be back in a few minutes to continue with the Heartland Bowling Tournament round of 4. We'll be back in just a couple minutes for that competition. welcome back out to ABC East Lanes for the Heartland Bowling Tournament Scratch Tournament today. We're now on to the round of 4 here in the finals. 2 matches left here. Matt O'Grady facing the number 1 seed, Rick Graham. Brian LeClaire as the 4 seed going up against Alicia Current, as she is the number 2 seed so far. Daryl, would you like to go ahead and tell us how these bowlers got to where they are right now?
Yeah, we had 4 qualifying squads, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. Brian LeClaire advanced with his 869 score for 4 games on the Saturday, the second Saturday squad. Alicia Current qualified today on the very last squad with her 867 series. Alicia got very hot. Then after that, in the next round where he bowled 3 games, she bowled a 266, a 215, and a 268 to advance to the 2nd seed of the top 8. And she has won her first match as she has defeated J.R. Martino.
Again, today's competition being sponsored by Capital Vending.
Capital Vending has a full line of amusements, pin games, video games, jukeboxes, pool tables, touchscreen games. They have everything in the gaming line that you may want. We will feature a total prize of over $11,000, with first prize being $2,500, second prize $1,250, and the 2 bowlers that are eliminated in this round each will receive $675.
So our feature match here will be Brian LeClaire versus Alicia Current. LeClaire will go first on the left lane. He goes up now. His first shot. That'll be good for a strike for Brian LeClaire. Lane 1 and 2. Rick Graham will be starting off. Matt O'Grady is his opponent. Graham's first shot is a strike.
As we watch Alicia throw her first shot, she was 2005-2006 Junior Team USA member. Quite an accomplishment. Alicia's pretty local, just from Ephrata, PA. She has 15 300 games and 4 800 series. She attended Fairleigh Dickinson University, as well as Wichita State University. And Collegiate Rookie of the Year in 2003-2004.
Current converts the 4-7 spare, so she starts her game off with a spare. O'Grady starting off his game with a split.
Wow, that is a very unusual split for Matt to leave. The 2, 4, 6, 9, 10. I don't know if I've ever seen that left before like that.
Current just goes for her first ball in the left lane. Roll this one. There's a strike for Current, her first here in this game.
Alicia is also a head women's bowling coach at Delaware State University. She's been head coach, I believe, for 2 years at Delaware State.
O'Grady on lane 1 strikes against Rick Graham. So Grady starts off spare or open strike rather, as LeClaire started off first frame with a strike. He'll go for his second frame here on the right lane. There's LeClaire's ball and leaves a solid 10. It's Brian LeClaire.
Brian, no stranger to TV. He has 2 second-place finishes on the national tour, as well as 15 regional titles he has. And unfortunate for me, one of those regional titles was against me back in 2012 up at Syracuse. I finished second to Brian in that event.
So Leclerc makes the spare there, starts off strike spare. Going up against Alicia Current. Leclerc 4 seed, Current the 2 seed. Winner of these 2 matches goes on, battles each other for the championship. $2,500 first place prize. Leclerc left lane. And that one will get him the fall. Strike spare strike for Brian Leclerc.
Brian signed up to bowl the next event, the over-under 45 doubles with his son Connor. And that event will take place on July 6th at ABC West Lanes. All you need is one partner to be over the age of 45 and a partner to be under the age of 45.
It's Current with the strike. That's now 2 in a row for Alicia Current. Current started off first frame with a spare. Now battles back with a double.
You can see why Alicia was a 2003-2004 female bowler of the year, as well as rookie of the year, bowling for Fairleigh Dickinson University.
Current, 4th frame on the left lane. That one goes through the nose, leaves the 3 pin.
Relatively easy spare for Alicia.
O'Grady gets a double down on lane 2. Current converts the spare. Remember, to see results in future tournaments, go on to heartlandbowling.com. Also can sign up there for those tournaments if you wish to participate them. You can also mail in orders to the following address. Daryl, do you have that address?
They could mail in orders to care of ABC East Lanes at 1001 Eisenhower Boulevard. That's Harrisburg, PA 17111, and address it to attention Jonathan Bauer. So
Leclerc, 4th frame shot, again leaves the solid 10 pin. So he'll go for that spare.
if you're not able to sign up and bowl in the doubles tournament, the next tournament will be held August the 10th. That will be back here at ABC East Lanes in Harrisburg. It will be the Bowler Supply Storm Bowling Open with a $1,500 guaranteed first place prize. Again, that's August the 10th. That's Sunday. One day event for that one, as well as a 1-day event for the doubles that will be coming up on July the 6th.
So again, Brian Leclerc, strike spare, strike spare. Start off game number 1 here in the round of 4. Current spare, strike, strike spare. As Leclerc goes ahead up on the left lane. LeClaire. 5th frame. And again, leaves another 10 pin, his 3rd of the game.
That time Brian came in a little light. The ball hit a little soft in the 1-3 pocket, leaving in a 10. The shot before on lane 4, the ball came through, hit a little bit more solid on the 1-3, and the 6 pin wrapped itself around the 10. So Brian's hoping to get a little bit of carry here this game, as Dylan said, leaving 3 10 pins out of the first 5 frames.
What does LeClaire need to do to make that adjustment?
Looks like on the right, or on the left lane, he may have to just move a little bit further to the right. Looked like that ball skidded down the lane just a little bit longer. Did not quite make the turn. The right lane, he threw a really nice shot. The ball broke in maybe just a little bit strong. So he might throw it just a little bit harder next time on lane 4.
Current. And there's another strike for Current. She's working on a spare now. 89 through 4 frames on the strike. Plus 10 is Current. Has also just gone final for anyone not able to watch. Team USA at the World Cup comes to a draw against Portugal. Portugal with a late goal and stoppage time ties the game up 2-2. So no teams eliminated today, and also no teams clinching a spot in their division. But a very late goal for Portugal keeps them alive in the tournament, as Matt O'Grady now 5 strikes in a row down on lane 2. Opened in the first frame, had a 300 in the first round. He's now up 44 pins on Rick Graham. Current battles back, strike for her, double now for Alicia Current.
It's down 20.
LeClaire up, down by 20. Graham struggling on the first 2 lanes. 85 in the 5th frame, just coming off of an open. Now leaving an 8 count. And the big 7-10
Wow.
split for Brian LeClaire.
Similar to the shot that he threw on lane 3, but this time the 5 pin did not go over and take out the 7. So this pair might be a little bit tighter for Brian. Might be able to use a little bit more of an aggressive ball to try to get that bite and get the ball to pick up a little bit more on the back end.
Graham just chopped a spare 2 down on lane 2, so he has back-to-back opens now. And now he leaves a split. LeClaire going up. 106 through 6th frames. Just coming off of the open on the 7-10 split. LeClaire's ball goes down. There's a strike on the left side for Brian LeClaire.
Looks like Brian made that adjustment. Looked like he moved a little bit to the right now after coming in a little on the half pocket side on his last 2 shots.
Graham opens. 3rd open for him in a row. Now 102 through 7 frames. Matt O'Grady again, 5 in a row. After starting off the game with a split, Current comes up. She's working off of a double. There's her ball, and there's a turkey for Alicia Current.
As Alicia takes a 43-pin lead.
Again,
At this point, Brian has to strike out in order and hope that Alicia will have an open here in her last 3 frames in order to have a chance.
Again, 2-game series. Whoever leads after the series as Matt O'Grady strikes again, 6 in a row now for him. Leader after 2 games moves on to the championship. Alicia Current on 3 in a row. Make it 4 for her. Brian Leclerc needs to start battling back, needs to find something on both lanes. Brian Leclerc out of Albany, New York.
Brian averaged 229 for his first 7 games in the tournament. And now it looks like Brian's tuned in a little bit now. He's moved a little to the right, ball's a little bit greater angle going into the pocket. So if he can come back, keep striking this game, get close, and then he hopes to, next game, keep his string alive. A lot can happen in the remaining 12 frames of this match.
So Leclerc working on a double. And that'll be now a turkey for Brian Leclerc, trying to make a comeback here against Alicia Curran after falling behind on several 10 pins and then a 7-10 that he left in the 6th frame. He has 3 in a row now. Alicia Curran working on 4 in a row, and now Matt O'Grady has 7 in a row, down on pair 1 and 2. He's facing Rick Graham. Again, Matt O'Grady threw a 300 in the last round when he was facing Ernie Lucas.
Yeah, he's now thrown 18 out of his last 19 shots for strikes.
Current leaves soft 10. So there goes her streak of 4 in a row. Third spare attempt of the game for Current. As Rick Graham goes straight through the nose. Just not his pair down there, as this could possibly be his 4th open frame in a row. As Current misses the 10 pin. Now pretty much anything is possible with an open frame like that. Again, Brian Leclerc on 3 in a row.
Very uncharacteristic of Alicia to miss a spare. Again, this is a very demanding condition. Sometimes you get it a little outside, you catch that oil on the outside portion of the lane and the ball does not come back for you. I'm sure she allowed for a little wrinkle at the end with the ball and she didn't get it.
So Current 206 through 9 frames, working on her first ball here in the 10th. Chance to shoot 236. She'll get the strike there. Keeps those hopes alive of a 236.
Alicia, the strong player she is, didn't let that bother her. She came right back and threw a great shot on lane 3.
Leclerc can strike out, shoot a 226. As Graham leaves the 1-2 down on lane 1. A chance to get his first spare in the last 5 frames, as he just had 4 open frames in a row. 3 due to splits, 1 which he chopped, as Current leaves the 6-10.
Brian Leclerc can now tie the match up after game 1 if he strikes out in the 10th. Alicia, if she picks up the 6-10 spare, will have 226. Brian can strike out for 226.
So here goes Current. She'll nail both of them down, so she'll finish the game 226 for the first game for Alicia Current, as she is the current 2 seed in the competition today after a great qualifying day and then moving forward through the cashers round. So Leclerc looking to strike out to contend with the 226 that Current just shot. Meanwhile, O'Grady down on lane 2, strikes again, 8 in a row now for Matt O'Grady. Leclerc's first ball in the 10th. Gets them the fall. One step closer for Leclerc to tying Alicia Current here in game 1 again. It's the best, most pins after 2 games, moves on to the championship.
Brian has made that adjustment well on lane 4 after starting with 10 pin pocket 7-10. He's now struck both times on lane 4 since, looking for his 3rd straight strike on this lane and 5th overall. This will get him virtually even with Current if he gets his strike.
There's the roll by Leclerc, and goes through the nose, cannot get the 10 pin to fall. Still be possible, not a huge deficit for Leclerc to come back in. As O'Grady goes down on lane 1, he'll strike again. And Leclerc makes his spare. So he'll finish his game 215. So Current will lead that match by 11 pins at the end of game 1.
And Matt O'Grady really putting on an exhibition here from Matawan, New Jersey. He has now thrown his last 22 out of 23 strikes.
And there goes O'Grady to finish the game. And there's another strike for Matt O'Grady. He'll finish the game 279 to take a commanding lead over Rick Graham in the semifinals. So O'Grady.
If you missed it earlier, O'Grady shot 300 against Ernie Lucas to round out that match. Started the semifinal match against Rick Graham with a 5 split, got 4, and then threw 11 consecutive strikes. Now having 23 out of his last 24.
O'Grady's definitely on a roll at this point in the game. Graham shoots a strike for his first ball in the 10th. He'll have a shot to shoot 160, but if he does that, he'll still be down 119 pins to O'Grady, who's just been outstanding here in the bracket finals. Leclerc's first shot in game number 2, it'll go down as a strike. Current also struck her first shot, so both bowlers even with a strike to start game number 2. Graham's second shot in the 10th. He'll also get that one to fall, so Graham's hopes still alive for the 160.
Brian Leclerc, if he gets this strike, will come in within 1 pins of Alicia Current.
There's the shot from Leclerc, not able to get the 8 pin to fall.
looked like Brian lost that shot a little bit off his fingers. Looks like he's losing it a little bit, and his hand got around it instead of staying behind it like he does so well on almost all of his shots.
And there's a final strike for Rick Graham, so that'll end his game 160. Again, Matt O'Grady 279, so Matt O'Grady the 119 pin advantage heading in to game 2 as Leclerc makes his spare.
Alicia Curran can go up on Brian Leclerc this second game if she gets this strike, as we watch her textbook 4-step approach.
Here goes Curran's shot, and there's a strike. Starts out with a double for Alicia Curran. All O'Grady will need to do, shoot a 181, and he is in to the championship matchup. Going to be a tough battle for Rick Graham to come back after first game, as O'Grady won't strike on his first shot, leaves the 2-pin. Current working off of a double. Gets set. Throws down her shot. And there's going to be a turkey for Alicia Curran.
The 2007 women's intercollegiate singles champion is making it awfully tough on Brian Leclerc.
Leclerc gets set to go up third frame, struck first frame, spare in the second. Leclerc coming into this game down 11 pins, shooting a 215 in the first game, Current 226. Leclerc shot, and he'll strike. So Leclerc starting to find somewhere to throw the ball, trying to stay alive.
Brian threw a much better shot this time. He does such a good job of keeping the elbow in all the time. The shot before on lane 3, I think he just lost it off his hand just a little bit.
Leclerc up and ready. Starts towards the line. Rolls that one there and not able to get the 10 pin to fall. Ball not coming back. So Leclerc again off to the same start he was last game. Strike, spare, strike, possibly another spare as long as he can knock down the 10 pin.
I think Brian threw that a little bit firmer, thinking that the shot before didn't quite recover and had to throw it firmer. Just a little bit too much ball speed on that one. I don't think he realized that the shot before on that lane came off his hand a little quick. He tried to get a little bit more on that one, and his ball speed was up just slightly. He thought he threw it good.
Remember, to see results and future tournaments, go on to heartlandbowling.com so you can see all the future bowling tournaments, where you can also sign up as well. You can also mail in the order forms to ABC East Lanes at 1001 Eisenhower Boulevard. Attention, Jonathan Bauer as Current strikes again.
This is shaping up to be perhaps an all-Team USA finals. Alicia Current being a 2005 and 2006 Junior Team USA team member, as well as Matt O'Grady being a 2006 through 2008 Team USA member.
So Current, the front four here in game number 2, already with an 11-point advantage to Brian Leclerc. Here goes her 5th frame shot, and that one goes through the nose. Will leave the 4-pin.
Got that one in a little early, and there's not much forgiveness with the lanes. Very demanding WTBA Atlanta pattern that they're bowling on. I've said great bowlers in all these matches with the final 8 bowlers that we have. They do not make the lane conditions seem as difficult as what it actually is.
So Alicia Current with the spare. So she'll start off first 4 strikes, spare in the 5th. Leclerc strike, spare, strike, spare. He's now going up for his 5th frame shot. Leclerc rolls his 5th frame shot down, and again leaving the 4-pin. About the same shot Current just had.
This is about the time of the game, last game, where Brian got going, where he strung out 5 in a row after leaving the pocket 7-10, so we'll see if he can do it again this game.
Dylan Bauer alongside Daryl Bauer, bringing you the Heartland Bowling Tournament Championship. We're in the semifinals currently of the bracket finals. Winners, the current match is going on, is Rick Graham versus Matt O'Grady, Brian Leclerc versus Alicia Current. The winners go on to the championship matchup. Matt O'Grady has the commanding lead against Rick Graham, plus 119 pins after game 1, and Brian Leclerc down 11 pins to Current after game 1 as he is trying to close the gap with a strike there. Again, 2-game series, most pins moves on.
And Alicia Kern is just one of 4 of the ladies that has advanced on to the cashers round in this tournament. Jolie Carrillo also cashed, as well as Kayla Bant and also Carla Pereira. So a good showing by the women in this Heartland Bowling Tournament.
And Current strikes again. She'll start a new streak now, as that's her 5th in 6 frames. The single spare coming last frame in the 5th.
Again, Alicia qualified with an 871 score for 4 games. Then in the cashers round, she rolled 268, 215, 268. So it looks like she is really getting comfortable, and should be an exciting finals match if she continues bowling as well. Bandy.
Current leaves a solid 10.
Bandy.
So she'll try to start a new streak in her next frame.
And a mistake on my part on pronunciation. That was Kayla Bandy. Is one of the women that have also cashed, as well as Jolie Carrillo and Carla Pereira. As we watch Alicia make the 10-pin this time.
So Current spare, strike, spare in the last 3 frames. 149 through 6 frames working on the spare. Brian Leclerc 99 through 5 frames currently working on the strike. Again, Leclerc down by 11 pins to Current after that first game. LeClaire. Again, another solid 10-pin for Brian LeClaire. Just cannot get the 10-pin to fall throughout this matchup.
I don't know that Brian has missed a pocket through 17 frames in this match. And now I think just a disappointment of not being able to carry Brian. Just got a little bit too relaxed on that shot. Still would have had a chance, but now he's down 42 pins this game, along with the 11 pins from the first game, with 3 frames to go.
And there's a strike. Gets that one to knock it over. So LeClaire, 127 through 7 frames, has the strike there. Alicia Current coming in, trying to close the door on Brian LeClaire.
Yeah, the best Brian can get this game is 217. Alicia's going at a 229 pace. And she's up 11 pins from the first game.
Current trips the 10-pin. That'll just about do it for Brian LeClaire. There's another strike by Current, and that'll put the door stopper in Brian LeClaire's day, as she'll move on to the final matchup, which is pretty much set, as Matt O'Grady will be defeating Rick Graham down on pair 1 and 2. So it'll be Alicia Current versus Matt O'Grady in the championship.
Well, now Brian carries. He's not trying to force the ball as much now. He's just letting it roll, knowing that the match is over. But he'll be back. Brian's already signed up to bowl with his son Connor in the July 6th over/under 45 doubles. That'll be held at ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg. That'll be the 3rd tournament in the Heartland Bowling Tournament Series.
So Brian LeClaire will shoot the spare, and that'll end his day. Finishes the day 180. Not good enough to defeat Alicia Current, as he will be going home with a few $100s more than he came in with. $675 he will be coming home with on his way back to Albany, New York.
Be a good weekend for Brian. Again, we have more than $11,000 in prize money in this tournament this week, with $2,500 going to our champion, and it's going to be one of our Team USA members will meet in the final match. Alicia Current, a 2005 and 2006 Junior Team USA member, going against Matt O'Grady. 3 consecutive years, 2006 to 2008 Team USA member, as well as Junior Gold Champion in 2006. And Dylan and I were there to see most of that action when Matt O'Grady won in 2006. tournament director Jonathan Bauer participated in that event back in 2006 in Fort Lauderdale. You can see our Capital Vending sign, our featured sponsor for this week's tournament. Again, we've had 20 years of long-standing relationship with Joe Calla, owner of Capital Vending, and they carry a full line of amusements. We appreciate their sponsorship and coming on board. Anything in the vending line, full line of amusements, you can call 558-9921. That's area code 717. You can also look them up on the internet at www.capitalvending.net.
Again, today's competition taking place at ABC Lanes East in Harrisburg, PA. Also ABC Lanes North, as well as ABC West Lanes. Go on to abclanes.com for more information.
And our event in the month of August will be at ABC East, be the Bowler Supply Storm Bowling Open. It's again another scratch singles event with $1,500 guaranteed to the winner.
Match up on lanes 1 and 2, just about over. Matt O'Grady strikes his first ball in the 10th. Rick Graham finished his match with a 168. We're going to step offside here for a few moments. Again, championship matchup just about to come up. Again, it's going to be Matt O'Grady facing Alicia Current. Again, that's the championship matchup. Going for a $2,500 first place cash, as both these players members of Team USA. For Dylan Bauer alongside Daryl Bauer. We'll be back in just a few moments for that competition. like to welcome back our viewers here on livestream.com to the championship match in today's ABC Lane Scratch Tournament Series. I'm Dylan Bauer alongside Daryl Bauer. And the match is set for the championship, and it's going to be Matt O'Grady facing Alicia Current. Current, the 2 seed. Matt O'Grady, the 6th seed. And Daryl, can you go ahead and tell a little bit about how these players made it to this championship match?
Well, we started with 168 entries that we qualified in 4 different squads, where 1 out of 5 advanced from each squad. And that brought us down to 27 bowlers, including seniors and women that we had. We also had a couple seniors that excelled. Jay Boyle finished 14th, just missing by 20-some pins of making the top 8, as well as Mike Hastings. He led his squad, and he had advanced. So we had a good mix of bowlers. In the round of 27, they bowled 3 more games, and after the 3 games combined with their qualifying scores, we cut it down to the top 8. If you saw from the very beginning of our matches, we had 4 2-game matches to start off, being with the 8 bowlers. And now we are down to the final match, where we have Matt O'Grady bowling against Alicia Current, both members of Team USA. Of course, Matt sporting his Team USA bowling shirt, as you can see on the telecast.
So
very appropriate today with the United States playing soccer in the FIFA World Cup, showing his support.
Again, Team USA tied in that one to Portugal. Still live in their pool, but we'll have to wait to see in their last game to see if they advance. But practice here, meanwhile, has just finished, so the championship match is about to get underway. Again, it's going to be the same format as the last 2 rounds. But the winner, the most pins after 2 games, will be your champion. And again, the winner going home with $2,500 and the first place trophy.
Tournament directors Jonathan Bauer and Brandon Bauer have done an excellent job putting this tournament together. This is the 2nd event out of 4 that are being held through August. Anthony Pepe won the very first event that was held here last month, and now we're about to crown our champion for event number 2.
And it's either going to be Matt O'Grady or Alicia Current. Matt O'Grady's been bowling very well in the first 2 rounds. A 300 game back in round 1 against Ernie Lucas. And then last game, a 279, his first game, to defeat Rick Graham in the semifinals. So now Matt O'Grady goes up with his first shot, and he'll start off the championship match with a strike.
I can remember watching Matt as he bowled with some of his college mates at William Patterson University. And he bowled in like a mixed tournament, I believe, a junior gold, where he bowled with one of the Pizzanos, if I remember right. Of course, Chuck being one of the founding members of the PBA back in 1957. And his granddaughter was bowling on that team, Chuck Jr.'s daughter.
Meanwhile, not a good start for Current. Starts off with a split in the first frame of the championship match. Current defeated J.R. Martino in the back in round 1, then defeated Brian LeClaire last match, as she goes here and will leave the 10-pin, so an open frame to start for Alicia Current. Not the way you want to start a championship match, but she'll have to find a way to battle back against the very hot Matt O'Grady. So Alicia Current goes up in the second frame. Her ball is down, and there will be the first strike for the match of Alicia Curran.
And we do have an injury update in case anybody was interested from our very first match with Casey Kreutz. We knew he had injured his leg or his hip. Turns out that he threw his hip out on one shot. Looks like he got a little out of time on his power step, but it looks like he's going to be okay. He's just a little sore right now, but he's walking around much better right now.
O'Grady, second frame shot, and there's another strike for Matt O'Grady.
You don't want to give Matt any room. Matt will take advantage of it as he doubles there in the second frame. Takes a 21-pin lead early in this match.
O'Grady got to the spot after defeating Ernie Lucas back round 1, defeated Rick Graham last round. So now O'Grady starts off with the double. And will trip out the 10-pin, still leaving behind the 4-pin. But he'll be shooting for his first spare in the championship match. Again, the winner of today's tournament going home with $2,500. A 2-day tournament. Started with 168 bowlers, now down to 2 as O'Grady makes his spare. So strike, spare for O'Grady. Open strike for Lisa Curran. To see the full results and future tournaments, be sure to go on to heartlandbowling.com. Any tournament that you would like to also participate, you can also sign up there. You can also mail in orders to 1001 Eisenhower Boulevard if you wish. As Currents doesn't get the ball to come back, she leaves her second split here in the match.
Like she got that a little wide at the arrows where she missed her target by maybe a board or two outside. And again, the lanes are not very forgiving. If you miss a little bit, you catch that extra oil outside and the ball hangs and doesn't recover as well as what it might be on a normal house condition.
So Curran opens for the second time now. In 3 frames to start. She'll be going on the left side. This championship match taking place on lanes 5 and 6.
Alicia finds herself down 32 pins after 3 frames. Not the start she wanted.
Current's ball here in the 4th frame. That'll go as a strike for Current. So 2 strikes on the left lane, 2 opens on the right lane. Current wants to change what she's doing on the right lane to what she's doing on the left side, as she is trying to come back now against O'Grady, who's been very hot here in the bracket finals.
Matt has bowled all 4 squads. You can bowl all 4 and try to improve upon your score through the qualifying. As I watched Matt bowl the last 2 days, he's bowled some squads inside and some squads out around the first arrow, which is a tribute to his ability. Most players have a comfort zone where they like to play either the inner portion of the lane or the outside portion, but with Matt, he can play exceptionally well playing inside or outside. Looks like today he's favoring the outside line, taking the ball out to about 8 board, down 40 feet down the lane.
O'Grady in the 5th frame. That ball's not going to come back around. So he'll be trying to aim for a spare on the double wood.
Matt usually hooks his ball into the 2-8, goes a little bit softer with his release and allows the ball to curve back a little bit more so than a lot of players will throw it straight. And perfect.
So Grady completes the spare there on that shot. So he's now double first 2 frames, spare, strike, spare. Still has the lead over Current as Current goes to shoot in the 5th frame. Current throws her shot, and there will be a strike on the right side. Current's first strike there on the right side, trying to get that the whole time. Finally able to get it.
A strong delivery by Current on that shot. The previous shot on lane 4 looked like, or lane 6, she had gotten her hand turned early and just swung it a little bit outside of her intended target. That time she kept everything in alignment with the forearm and the elbow. A great shot there by Alicia.
Now she can't get the ball to come back on the left side. A split now on the left side. Again, a 3rd split in 6 frames for Alicia Current here in the championship match.
Oh, this has been a long day. Might be showing a little bit of signs of fatigue for Alicia. First squad started at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're approaching 12 hours of competition for some of the bowlers.
So Grady's still leading in the match. Taking his time. O'Grady up by 49 here in the championship. O'Grady again set. Works his way down the lane. And there's the strike again. Matt O'Grady.
That was vintage Matt O'Grady. What a great shot he made there. Matt from Matawan, New Jersey. We've had great turnout for this event. 168 entries with 9 states being represented, as far away as Wisconsin. So Jonathan Bauer, as well as producer Brandon Bauer, did a great job of promoting this event. And I think the bowlers have appreciated that.
Again, top prize today, $2,500, over $11,000 in the prize fund for this tournament. Matt O'Grady, 7th frame, working on a strike. And there's another one as he kicks out 7-10. Double now for Matt O'Grady as he now leads by 59 pins. Current making a ball change now. Using a different ball for the 7th frame. Split 3 of the first 6 frames. All 7 splits.
And Alicia was second high qualifier for the bracket finals, averaging 231 for her first 7 games in the tournament. Followed only by Rick Graham.
Still a high shot for Current, but gets them all to fall. What adjustments does Current need to make moving forward in this match?
Well, I think she just needs to let the ball roll off her hand. I think she's forcing just a little bit. Now she maybe feels a little bit more comfortable with the ball change. Now she can go back to her A game and just trying to be firm with the shot. Not worry about it getting it out too far and not coming back. Ooh, and she did just that. A great shot. 6-pin wrapped around the 10. And that will make it almost impossible for her to recover from in order to catch Matt O'Grady. She got a little firmer, moved in a little bit deeper with a more aggressive ball. So she was avoiding the out of bounds that might be out there on this difficult condition.
Anything still possible for Current to, if she can find a way to rebound. She still has 12 more frames to play with. O'Grady has 13 left. Again, 2-game top series is crowned the champion and also goes home with $2,500 and the first place trophy. O'Grady with a decent lead here through game 1. O'Grady's been very dominant so far throughout the bracket finals. 300 game back in round 1, 279 in game 2. Another strike there for Matt O'Grady. 6 strikes out of 8 attempts for Matt Grady here in game 1 of the championship match. O'Grady now on a turkey.
And if you were viewing earlier on our live stream telecast, you saw Matt roll a 300 game, the only 300 game of the tournament, as he had that in game number 2 of match 1.
Here goes the 9th frame for Matt O'Grady. Another strike. That's going to be a 4-bagger for Matt O'Grady. Again, if you missed any part of the broadcast, you can rewind now or after the end of the broadcast. The whole broadcast will still be recorded. You can view any parts of the tournament. So if you missed yourself bowling, you're now tuning in, you can go back, watch yourself, find things you may have done wrong as Current goes up in the 9th frame. She'll strike there. She's trying to start a new streak of strikes now. She's going off to the 10th frame, trying to finish out her game. High game for Current here. Could be at 190 if she can strike out in the 10th. High game for O'Grady, 259. Current, first ball in the 10th. Again, another 10-pin. Spare picked up by Current. Strikes here. Gets a 170.
And it looks like Alicia's going to try another ball, just trying to find a way to carry. Now it looks like she's got the line. She's playing a similar line now to Matt O'Grady. Trying to find a ball that's going to help her carry a little bit better. 2 10-pins here on the left lane for Alicia, her last 2 shots. Both on very good shots.
Now we'll go through the nose. Leaves the 6-pin, so her game 169 for Alicia Current. Matt O'Grady working off 4 in a row. He goes up to shoot in the 10th frame. high game for him possible is a 259 with a strikeout.
Yeah, Alicia's just experimenting around on that fill shot, hoping to try to find something that may work better than what she's currently using. That particular ball change resulted in an earlier roll for her as the ball came up and rolled through the nose.
O'Grady. It's set. There's a strike again for him. 2 more shots left for O'Grady again. Can shoot 259 with the 2 remaining shots.
As you see, the great camera work that we have here, our producer Brandon Bauer shows that on that shot how Matt O'Grady went right over the 3rd arrow, took it out to about the 6 or 7 board that time. Was able to get the ball to turn on the back end and pick up, and hit thin in the pocket, and carry all 10 pins.
O'Grady.
Okay, if it's not fixed, don't switch anything. If it's not broke, then don't fix it. It's coming up light, but they're carrying. Almost the exact identical shot as the time before on that lane.
So O'Grady, 1 remaining shot. Has a chance to finish the game with 7 in a row. O'Grady bowling very well in the bracket finals. 497 series. Last match against Rick Ram. And then bowled a 300 game back against Ernie Lucas in the 1st round.
And we see in between shots here, Matt has put a piece of tape in his thumb hole. Looks like although he's striking, he's not quite comfortable with the shot he's making. So that time he hit a little bit more flush that time in the pocket.
So 259 for Matt O'Grady, 169 for Alicia Current. Dylan Bauer alongside Daryl Bauer for today's competition in the ABC Lane Scratch Tournament Series. 1 game remaining today in competition as Alicia Current's first shot, she will leave the 7 pin.
Still trying to find a way to carry. She went back to one of the previous balls she had been using before she experimented with her fill shot in the 10th. Still looking for that carry.
So Current with the spare.
Well, Matt again's working on putting tape into his thumb hole. It's been a long day for a lot of the bowlers, so their hand may go up and down as they bowl throughout the day. Looks like right now Matt's hand, his thumb is going down in size. He's having to put tape in it to get that same feel that he's comfortable with.
So O'Grady, a 210 would mathematically put him in position automatically to win the tournament. So O'Grady's first shot here in game number 2 will also go down as a strike. O'Grady led after the first game by 90 pins. Shot at 259. Alicia Kearns 169. She did a great job getting to this point, but struggling on this pair, not being able to find anything to fall. O'Grady's second frame. And there's another strike. 2 in a row to start off for Matt O'Grady.
Matt O'Grady really putting on a strike exhibition here in the bracket finals. He rolled 300 to one game. He had 11 strikes in a row, a different match. And here in game 1 of the final match, he rolled 10 strikes. And he starts off game 2 with a double.
Current on the right side, goes through the nose. Just not able to find anything here in this championship game. Much like Rick Graham in the last match when he faced Matt O'Grady. Bowled outstanding in the first round, defeated Casey Kreutz, but then not able to get anything in round number 2 on lanes 1 and 2. And now pretty much the same thing happening to Alicia Current now as she opened there in the second frame.
Yeah, the way Matt is striking, it puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. And I think that's what happened with Rick as well. He knew he had to throw strikes, so he kept experimenting, trying to find a part of the lane he could throw strikes on, and this just never happened for him. Alicia looks to be the same way, where she's just experimenting, she's changing balls, she's changing lines. She knows if she's not able to throw a bunch of strikes here together, that Matt's going to prevail. So right now she's moving around on the lane, trying different balls, knowing that she's got to get the ball to throw a lot of strikes.
There will be a spare for Current. O'Grady again. Started off 2 strikes.
Again, we'd like to thank our tournament director, Jonathan Bauer, for putting this event together. What a successful tournament it was, with 168 entries. All bowlers seem to be very pleased with the format, and expressed a lot of interest in bowling in the next several tournaments coming up. Next one being at ABC West, the over/under 45 doubles that's going to be held July 6th. And then that will be followed by the Bowler Supply Storm Bowling Open. It's August the 10th back here at ABC East Bowling Lanes.
So
Matt O'Grady in a title match, throwing 13 out of a possible 15 strikes up to this point.
O'Grady's 4th frame, and there's another strike. 4 to start off the championship match for Matt O'Grady. Current, 4th frame, working on a spare. There's her first strike for game number 2 coming in the 4th frame.
Current, the women's intercollegiate singles champion in 2007. And she was the intercollegiate singles champion runner-up in 2006.
Well decorated bowler she is as she comes up. 5th frame. That'll be a double there for Current. Just unfortunately too late for her. Finally starting to find something. But it might just be
I think she went back to the ball she finished the first game out with, where she was throwing it well, just had a little trouble with the carry. She went strike solid 10, strike solid 10. And of course, at the rate Matt O'Grady's throwing strikes, that's not going to do it. She knew she had to make some adjustments, make them quick to try to get some strikes together.
So Grady started off with the ham bone, 5th frame. And that one gets them the fall, even though the ball goes through the nose. What they say, when you're hot, you stay hot no matter what.
As Matt pulls his shirt over his head, knew that wasn't the shot he wanted to make, got a little bit inside of target. He still carries. You can see why Matt is a 3-time member of Team USA.
Also a winner of junior gold back in 2006. As there's another strike, front 6 for Matt O'Grady.
Matt's putting on an exhibition here. Maybe we'll get to see a second 300 game by Matt O'Grady. Matt having only one of the tournament so far in our first round of bracket match play.
There's another strike for Current. 3 in a row for her. Starting to find it. Being able to get a groove going now.
She could have got a little bit of carry early at the end of that first game. I think that would have made a big difference for her. She would not have tried experimenting around with different balls to try to find something better than what she had. Now she's got it going again.
So now Current has 4 in a row. O'Grady will mathematically be the champion as long as he gets a good count on this ball.
It's like Matt's continually moving on the lane. Looks like he's getting deeper and deeper with every shot as his ball burns up the oil. He's now playing in between the 3rd and the 4th arrow.
7 in a row to start the second game of the championship round. And with that, you can officially say that Matt O'Grady will be the champion here. Today's tournament will also be taking home $2,500 with him back to New Jersey. Grady going for 8. And there it is, 8 in a row for Matt O'Grady. 4 more left to try and complete his second 300 game of the day.
Yeah, what a pleasure it is to watch these two bowlers bowl this final match. At least very, very textbook in her approach and style, and great execution on her part as she leaves another solid 10. And Matt O'Grady, what an exhibition is he putting on. Great hand-eye coordination. As you see that he's actually moving almost on every shot. He's reading the lane perfectly as the oil is drying up where he's playing. He's just keep gradually moves in a little bit deeper and making great shots.
So Current with the spare there, she'll be going on to shoot the 9th frame. Current shot. That will go through a nose. That'll be a split for Current. Left many of those here in the championship match, but she'll be going home as the runner-up. She'll be going home with $1,250 to put in her account.
And it's no shame in losing to Matt O'Grady, especially when he's bowling as well as he is. I don't know if, no matter what Alicia Current would have done in this match, if she could have topped Matt the way he's bowling.
So Grady trying to strike out to complete his second 300 of the day. Ninth frame, ball's down. And just not able to get the 10 pin to fall. So his journey will end there, but it will continue as he is the champion of today's Heartland tournament.
What great touch Matt has, as he's just shown 18 out of 21 strikes in this championship match of the Heartland Bowling Series, event number 2, held at ABC East Lane, sponsored by Capital Vending. Capital Vending has all your needs for amusements and games. Joe Calla being the owner of Capital Vending and a good friend over the last 20 years.
First strike for O'Grady. Come.
Just do the check presentation.
Coming up, following this match, we'll have the check presentation for Matt O'Grady, as well as the runner-up presentation for Alicia Current. O'Grady just bowling outstanding in the championship match. 259 first game, 1 strike away from 279 here in this game. Not much Alicia Current could do to stay in competition against a guy who's bowling as well as Matt O'Grady.
4 out of the 6 games that Matt has bowled in the match play finals, he's had 12 strikes, 11 strikes, 10 strikes, and this game a potential 11 strikes again. And there it is, 11 strikes. A 300 game, 2 games with 11 strikes in it, and a game with 10 strikes in it for Matt O'Grady. What a performance today we've witnessed on a very, very difficult WTBA Atlanta pattern.
So he finishes the game 279 here, game 2 of the championship performance. Nothing Alicia Current could do as he walks home with the championship. 538 in the championships was Matt O'Grady's series. There's not much you can do when someone bowls a series of that nature. Alicia Current finishes 196. She goes home the runner-up in today's tournament.
As we're witnessing Jonathan Bauer presenting the championship check to Matt O'Grady. Jonathan is the tournament director, founder of the Heartland Bowling Tournament Series. and what a job he's done in promoting this and getting the entries. These bowlers looking forward to coming back and bowling the next several events. The doubles event that is be held over at McKingsford.
To the Bauer family and everybody here at ABC's, thanks so much. Such a wonderful facility, great bowling center. It's probably one of the best that we go to for any tournament. And you guys ran an exceptional tournament, and it was an absolute pleasure. And I hope to do many, many more, obviously. And thanks, guys.
Again, just heard Matt O'Grady talking after receiving his championship trophy.
Sure. We can do a quick interview, Matt, if you don't mind.
Put those headsets on.
Well, Matt, quite a performance there in the championship match play. I don't know if you're even aware of it, but you had naturally the 300 game. You had 2 other games out of the 6 games that you had 11 strikes in it, and you had another game that you had 10 strikes. So what a performance today on a very, very difficult WTBA Atlanta pattern. That is virtually like a 2.2 ratio between the outside oil and the inside. So very, very difficult, but you made it look very easy today.
Well, thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it, and I didn't even realize I had that many strikes. I kind of just, I guess, flipped that proverbial switch there, and turned up the competition, and I had a great look and executed some of the best shot making that I could name to date in my career, and just felt awesome. I had a great practice session during the week, and really keyed in on a couple things in my swing playing and timing, and obviously it paid off, and was great for the angles that I had to play this week. And I can't wait to come on back to this place.
I noticed early on in the tournament, the first squad you played out around first hour, and you had a good look. You were throwing it great, and then you've experimented around, played inside some of the tournaments, and even in this championship match, it looked like you gradually kept moving left, even though you were striking on shots. You were still gradually moving left almost with every shot throughout that championship match with Alicia.
Yeah, actually, we decided to bowl all 4 squads, and being a 38-foot pattern, we figured, all right, well, maybe the gutter could be in play, around 3, 4, 5 board, and the look was pretty good up around that area yesterday, and that's where I had made it off of the morning squad Saturday. And today, for some reason, there wasn't many people playing out there, and that part of the lane wasn't very good. Very inconsistent reaction, not a lot of hold. So most of the tournament field went right in, and you notice in the championship match, you had to keep chasing it left in order to find fresh laydown and keep that strong back end reaction. Because any shots that I didn't, it'd start to wiggle at the spot because of not being able to have fresh fronts. So luckily, my Storm Zero Gravity and my Storm High Road were the 2 perfect balls for the condition.
Noticed at the end of game 1 of your third match here with Alicia, you're having some thumb issue. It looked like you were putting some thumb in your tape. Although you were still striking, you're adding tape at that point. So, bowling started this morning around 9 o'clock in the morning. It's 12 hours later. You find that your thumb was going up and down as you were bowling throughout the day?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as the temperature went up in the middle of the day, and then, now the sun's down and temperature's going down, my swelling went down as well, and that's what I had to do in the championship match against Alicia. I had to add some tape there. The thumb hole I was starting to swim in it a little bit. So it's so key to be able to have that good feel without squeezing it, so I can get it off my hand consistently towards the target and be able to repeat shots. So
well, with your great hand-eye coordination and touch that you're having, does that give you any incentive to get back out there on the tour and compete in their upcoming events?
I've thrown around thoughts of doing that, but I think it's just going to be out on the regional tour, maybe perhaps the high roller coming up. But there's no definitive answers at this point. I would love to. I wish that it was still 36 weeks like when you were out there. But unfortunately, that's not the case anymore for the current status of the PBA.
Well, what a treat it was for us to watch that performance that you displayed today, and congratulations. And if you keep throwing it that well, I'm sure you're going to have a lot of success
Oh,
coming
Darryl,
forward.
thanks so much. And coming from a man of your stature and your accomplishments, I greatly appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. And that wraps us up for the Heartland Bowling Series, event number 2. Matt O'Grady, as you've seen on the telecast, defeated Alicia Curran. Matt receives $2,500 in the trophy. Alicia got $1,250. And Dylan, do you have any closing comments? What a performance by Matt.
Without a doubt, great performance by all the bowlers in the entire tournament, and even the runner-up, Alicia Current, just not able to compete against someone who shoots a 538 in 2-game series. But as far as future tournaments and past results, you can go ahead onto heartlandbowling.com, and that's also a place where you can sign up, or if you're also interested, you can mail in the orders to 1001 Eisenhower Boulevard, Harrisburg, PA 17111. Make the payments to ABC East Lanes. Attention, Jonathan Bauer. And again, I want to give another special thank you to our sponsor for today, Capital Vending. Capital Vending Company being a big part of the sponsorship. Have anything you need as far as a game goes. And for everyone here at ABC East Lanes, we want to give out a lot of thanks to the tournament director, Jonathan Bauer, and also to the producer and director of operations, Brandon Bauer, for putting on this game, this broadcast that we performed for you guys today. And again, once again, your champion here in event number 2, Matt O'Grady, defeating Alicia Current in the championship match. For Darryl Bauer, I'm Dylan Bauer saying have a good night and enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening.